of the things we're going to do, we're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing. So we're doing a lot of good work. And the numbers were reported so incorrectly. The real numbers are trillions of dollars have been taken in or gotten in terms of investment from the tariffs. And so if that were ever reversed, it would be a disaster. Frankly, it would be a national security problem for our country.
Well, America, the idiot in charge has spent the tariff money. He has spent $3 trillion. Where was it supposed to be? It was supposed to be in the bank. It was supposed to pay off our debt or give us a check as a tax return. I don't know. But he admitted himself in writing that he has spent the money. If he's forced to pay this money back, it will plunge the United States into the greatest recession or depression we've ever seen. You voted for him. Most of you voted for him 3 times. He spent the tariff money on what? God knows who. He spent the tariff money and now can't pay it back. I don't know. How could we have known that? 5 bankruptcies? 2 failed casinos? Who can fail at a casino?
Donald Trump appears to be confessing that the revenue collected by tariffs has already been spent as he's trying to get ahead of the Supreme Court decision. Now, if you didn't know, right now the Supreme Court is deciding whether or not Trump had the legal authority to impose tariffs on U.S. businesses. If they rule against Donald Trump, the U.S. government is going to have to pay back all that tariff revenue, and Donald Trump is in a panic as he took to Truth Social to say this. The U.S. Supreme Court was given the wrong numbers. In the event of a negative decision, the amount to be returned is in excess of $3 trillion. It would not be possible to ever make up for that kind of drubbing. This would become a national security event. But just the day before, yesterday, Donald Trump said it was $2 trillion. He added $1 trillion today because he is panicked. He is trying to signal, in my opinion, to the Supreme Court the money's not here anymore. Either that or he's trying to game them. Either way, I have an idea to refund the money. You could defund ICE, or maybe that ballroom, or both. Either way, Trump is in some trouble here.
This dude is panicking. He's panicking because he doesn't have the money. He's panicking because he spent the money. The SNAP contingency fund, whatever tariff money that came in, it was not trillions, but it is estimated to be about 80 billion. It's gone. It's spent. Not just that, but this goes all the way back to USAID and the DOGE stuff. They have taken money from all kinds of places in the government. And he's panicking now because the Supreme Court, in their oral arguments the other day, sounded like, even the conservatives, that they're going to rule against him on the tariffs being unconstitutional, which means he has to give the money back. And he's panicking because he doesn't have the money to give it back. He's riddled with dementia, so he's out here just admitting it. This is just an admission. This is the biggest theft of the American government in our history. We don't even know the tip of the iceberg. This is absolutely insane. We need a full audit of every dollar that has been spent in our government since January. I mean, really, we need a better audit of our government for like years and years, but since January, since he came into office, because I don't think that there is any money in these funds. He stole it. He stole our money.
At major news right now, Donald Trump is melting down because he's realizing the Supreme Court is about to rule against him on the most consequential economic policy of his administration, tariffs. And he's realizing that he probably spent all of the money generated by the tariffs already, and he doesn't know how he's going to pay it back. Because if the Supreme Court says, Donald Trump, your tariffs are illegal, he's going to have to pay back billions and billions of dollars generated from the tariffs. And he's admitting now that the United States of America has already spent some of that money, and it's going to be a complete and utter mess. Economic numbers are bad. Tariffs are bad. And the Trump administration, well, they're gearing up for a massive loss in front of the United States Supreme Court that could come as soon as this week. And Donald Trump, he's lashing out at everyone. He's lashing out publicly, and now he's even lashing out at his own attorneys who appeared in front of the Supreme Court. Read this with me. The United States Supreme Court was given the wrong numbers. The unwind in the event of a negative decision on tariffs would be including investment made to be made and return of funds in excess of $3 trillion. It would not be possible to ever make up for that kind of drubbing. That would truly become an insurmountable national security event and devastating to the future of our country, possibly non-sustainable. Read this with me. Who gave the Supreme Court wrong numbers? His own Solicitor General, John Sauer, gave the Supreme Court wrong numbers, according to him. Trump is not happy. And now Trump is saying that excess of $3 trillion that we'd have to pay back, even though the tariffs have only generated about $200 billion worth of revenue for the United States. So not sure where he's getting that $3 trillion number from. But what he's saying here is that essentially the United States of America has spent some of the money, has invested some of the money, and they won't be able to pay back the tariffs. Now, folks, this is stunning. This is absolutely stunning. Donald Trump and the Trump administration always knew that it was a possibility that he would be forced to pay back this money generated from the tariffs. That was always part of the agenda. It was always a part of a possible plan. If the Supreme Court said, you know what, Trump, your tariffs are unconstitutional. And well, despite all of that, he is running our country right now as though he's running a casino in Atlantic City, just spending, spending, spending. And then one day our country could face bankruptcy and he won't have any money to pay lenders. Same thing here. He's spending, spending, spending all this money generated by tariffs. And as soon as this week, the Supreme Court could come back and say, you know what, you can't actually spend that money because you can't even have that money in the first place. And Donald Trump should have seen this coming, because if you watched the Supreme Court oral arguments, you would have seen massive resistance from even Trump's own appointed justices. But that's not all. Trump was rebuked by his own party in front of the United States Senate. 5 senators joined all Democrats. 5 Senate Republicans joined all Democrats to rebuke Trump on tariffs on Brazil. 4 Republicans joined all Democrats to rebuke tariffs on Canada. And another 4 joined all Democrats to rebuke